Good morning, all of you. So, as we know that in last class we discussed that how are the characteristics or what are the traits from the parents is transmitted to the progeny. So now, as I told you, if you take in a sexual reproduction, always two parents is involving. One is a male parent, another one is a female parent, particularly in animals. Or else if you take in any plants, always a two parents is involving. So parent one and as well as the second parent. Now, if they used to involve in the sexual reproduction, they used to produce the what? A progeny. Is it yes or no, guys? So in this progeny, suppose for example, there he is getting transmitting the one trait or else any one character, means in the sense of what? In this character is developed by what? One pair of gene. Is it yes or no, guys? One pair of genes, it is developed. So now in this one pair of gene, as I told you yesterday also, again today also I am saying the same thing. So one pair of genes means in the sense of what? One set of genes is present, means in the sense of one chromosome and another chromosome is present in deciding the characteristic or trait in the offspring. So now in this, one chromosome or one gene is donated by the first parent and the another gene is donated by the second parent. This is only we have been studied in the yesterday's class. Yes or no, guys? How are characteristics transmitted to the progeny? Yes, please respond. So now, if you notice it, in our today's class, we'll see how the genes, which is coming from the both the parents, how these will control the characteristics. That is what we will study with examples today. So now, as we know, both the parents will donate a single gene during the sexual reproduction, and they will make a key role in deciding the characteristics of a progeny or offsprings. So now, if you notice it here, how do these genes controls the characteristics or traits? For example, let me take. So as we know, first of all, a gene. So if we take a gene, what do you mean by gene, guys? Anybody can say? What do you mean by gene? They are the units of heredity. Is it yes or no, guys? Please respond. They are the units of heredity. Is it yes? So which will controls the specific characteristics of the organism. So if we take any character in the organism, which will be controlled by one set of gene. Is it yes or no, Kevin? Arvind? Yes, right. Yes. So if we take any character in the organism, in plants and as well as animals, so everything will be controlled by a gene only. So that is why we can say a gene is the section of DNA. Understand? It is the section of DNA. So DNA means in the sense of what? It is a pair of chromosomes. Is it yes, guys? So this pair of chromosomes only which contains what? This pair of chromosomes only contains what, guys? They contain genes. That is what. So we can say a gene is the section of DNA on a chromosome which codes the formation of protein, because it is the DNA is formation by what? It is a type of protein, and which will control the specific characteristic of the organism. That is only we used to call as gene. So now, for example, suppose let us take let us consider the plants now. So now let me take the plants having a progeny. Do you understand what do you mean by progeny, guys? What do you mean by progeny? Progeny means a genotype. Yes or no? So now let me consider, for example, a plant is having a progeny which has a gene for the characteristics of growth called as tallness. Do you understand, guys? So now a plant is having a progeny what? A progeny of a gene which is having a tallness. So what is the gene of tallness? Anybody can say? What is the gene of tallness? Please respond. What is the gene of tallness? Either capital T, or we can say what? Capital
T, small t.
So now, as we know, here both are dominant traits, and here one dominant trait, another one is recessive trait. Is it yes or no, guys? So if you'll find any plant which is having a progeny of gene called as tallness, then what will happen, this tallness, this gene for tallness will give instructions to the plant. Do you understand? So to give what? Instructions to the plant, understanding, and as well as the plant cells to make a lot of plant growth hormones. Do you understand? So whatever the gene, if it is present in the plant, if it is having a tallness gene, so the gene will give the instructions to the plant cells. Do you understand? So to what, guys? To make it more number of growth hormones. Do you understand, guys? That is what. So to make more number of growth hormones. So now due to that, what is happening? Anybody can say? Due to that, what is happening? So this gene, which will instruct the plant cells to make more amount of growth hormones, so that what is happening? Due to the formation of excess of plant growth hormones, the plant will grow. Understanding? So due to the excess of the growth hormones, the plant will grow too much, and it will become what, guys? It will become a tall plant. So that is what it is used to happening. And same way, let us consider a plant is having a gene of a set of dwarfness. So now it is having a plant is having a gene of a set of dwarfness. Now, what is happening, guys? Tell me, what is a dwarfness? Dwarfness means what? Please respond. What is a dwarfness genotype? What is a dwarfness genotype, Ra? Genotype of dwarfness. Don't know. Anybody? Genotype for dwarfness. Somebody is saying in chat. Very good, Tarani. Open your mouth. What is the genotype for dwarfness? I am asking. Genotype for dwarfness is what? Both are small t's. Yes or no? So now, if any plant is having a pair of recessive genes, that is what a dwarfness, then these will instruct the plant. Do you understand? These will instruct the plant cells to produce less hormones or more hormones, Kevin. It will give the instructions to what? To produce the plant cells to produce less amount of growth hormones. Do you understand it? So it will give the instructions to the plant cells to produce less amount of growth hormones. Then it will be produced a very less amount of growth hormone. So due to this growth hormones is less, then what is happening? The plant will be remains short, and hence it will be used to called as it will be become like a dwarf plants. So that is what it is used to happening. So whatever the gene is present, understanding, if it is related to the tallness, it will give the instructions to the plant cells to make a more amount of growth hormones, so that due to the excess amount of growth hormones, the plant will grow too much and it will become tall plant. Now same way, if it is having a pair of gene called as dwarfness, that is what a genotype, a small t and small t, then it will give the instructions to the plant cells to produce less amount of growth hormones. So that is why the plant, due to the less amount, do you understand? So the plant will grow less and remain short, and hence finally it will become what plant, guys? Finally it will become tall plant or dwarf plant? It will become into dwarf plant. That is what it is used to happen. So now, in this similar way, if you notice it, just like plants, how it is controlling the dwarfness or tallness, if you take the characteristics in animals also, including ours, we people, human beings also, the transmission from the parents to the genes by the process of sexual reproduction. So now, let us take, for example, we will give an example of transmission of color of hair from the parents to the child. For example, parents means we know that how many humans you can take. So parents means who is that? Can anybody take? Who is the parents, guys? In humans, one is father and another one is what?
Mother.
Another one is what? Mother. So now let us see. So now father and mother, if will involve in human beings in sexual reproduction, they used to produce the baby. So now this baby may be a male or female, doesn't matter now. So we are talking about the hair color of baby. Now let us take the father is having a type of hair and mother is having another type of hair. Do you understand everybody? Another type of hair color. So now let us see how the baby will get the hair color. So now try to understand very carefully, guys. We are having two kinds of hair. One is black hair. Do you understand everybody? And the next one is called as blonde hair. This blonde hair only we used to call as pale yellow hair. What we used to call Arvind? Pale yellow hair. Do you understand it? So now let us discuss how it is used to come, what color of hair is coming to the baby. Now try to understand clearly, very carefully. So black hair is what is the phenotype, guys? The black hair is a phenotype produced by the genotype of what? So now if you take this black hair, it is a phenotype which will use to called as, and the phenotype is the black hair. And what is the genotype of black hair? Anybody knows? The genotype of black hair, which is capital H and capital H. Is it okay, guys? Which we used to represent with alphabets, guys. So what is the genotype of black hair? I'm saying you guys. What it is? At least respond. That is what? Capital H and capital H. Now if you take the blonde hair or pale yellow hair, that is what we used to call as phenotype. And the genotype of this pale yellow hair, it is, if we'll take a pale yellow hair, if we'll take, so that is small h and small h. So this is the genotype. Now, same way if we'll take the genotype of the black hair is either capital H or capital H or capital H and small h. So these are the two sets of a genotype, possible genotypes for black hair. But a blonde hair or pale yellow hair, always the genotype is small h and small h. That is what both everybody need to remember. So please all of you write. So black hair, what is the genotype, Ra? Anybody can say? Black hair, what is the genotype? Black hair is having a genotype of either capital H and capital H or capital H and small h. This is the genotype. Now same way if we take blonde hair or pale yellow hair, if we'll take, the genotype is small h and small h. So kindly please all of you write it, this point. So now we will study. So how a baby hair color is coming from this, like how these genes will control the characteristics, we will understand now. So have you written this? Please at least say yes or no. Black hair genotype and blonde hair genotype. Any doubt in this? Yes. So now let us take, I don't know why people are feeling hesitant to say yes or no also. Now, let us take the parents. So we are having two kinds of parents. Who is that, guys? One is father and another one is what? Another one is Hura, mother. So now, let us consider a mother is having a black hair. Mother is having a black hair and father is having a what hair? What, guys? Father is having a blonde hair. So now what is the genotype present in the father? Anybody can say? What is the genotype present in the father?
Small h.
Small h and small h.
Small h. What is the genotype present in the mother? Either it is
Capital H
or capital H, small
or
h.
capital H and small h.
Capital H, capital H. Is it okay, da? Okay. So now mother cell contains capital H and capital H. This is for what? Black hair. And father hair is contains small h and small h for blonde hair. Now, what is the gametes will form? Anybody tell me? What is the gametes will form? Please respond.
Small h and
So
small
here,
h.
small h and small h is the gamete. Here what will form?
Capital H.
Capital H and capital H. Now, let us take 4 babies. Understanding? So whatever it is the possibility, you want, you can reverse it also. Mother this side and father this side. Now, father will donate. Now baby is going to come. So in baby hair color, one set of chromosomes will form. So one chromosome is donated by whom, guys? One gene is donated by father and another gene is donated by whom, Ra? In baby. Another gene is donated by mother. That is what will happen. Now father is donating small h and mother is donating what? Mother is
Capital H.
capital H. So now next same way, father is donating small h and mother is donating what, guys? Mother is donating capital H. Same way, if we'll take father is donating small h and mother is donating capital H. So now same way, if we'll take father is donating small h and mother is donating capital H. Now if you'll notice it everywhere we are getting capital H and small h, capital H and small h, capital H and small h, and capital H and small h. So now here, capital H is a what? A dominant gene or recessive gene? That is what my question. Dominant or recessive?
Capital H is dominant gene.
Yes.
Dominant gene.
Capital H is always a dominant gene. So that is why if you notice it, so this is what the dominant gene. So that you tell me, what is the color of the baby? What is the baby hair color? Yes,
Hair.
please.
Black.
So if you take the baby hair color, you understand? So baby hair color, if you notice it, it will get a genotype of, what is the genotype we'll get for the baby, guys? What is the genotype? You should speak. I already explained you very clearly. I mean, no book
black, sir,
will
black.
explain like this. So what is the genotype I am asking? Genotype, not the phenotype, Kevin. What is the genotype of baby? The
Capital H and small h.
Capital H and small h.
we get the genotype of capital H and small h. Is it yes or no, guys? So the gene H, capital H is responsible for whom? The capital H is responsible for black hair.
Black hair.
Small h is responsible for what? It is a dominant. It is the recessive gene. So usually it is a respond for blonde hair, but it is a black hair. It is the dominant gene. So that what will happen? And this is the recessive gene. So that what is happening, guys? Please respond. So the baby will get what hair? Tarani?
Black hair.
The baby will get black hair only because it is the dominant gene. Have you understand everybody clearly? So like this, the dominant gene H for black hair shows its effect, due to which the child has a black hair
Sir, I
only.
have a doubt, sir.
Yes, ask me.
Sir, if father has small h and small h blonde hair and mother has this capital H and small h, it will come as 3:1, no, sir. Then what are the child will have, sir?
But that is the F2 generation. Next, child, if it is intercourse, that is, suppose if mother is itself a F1 generation, then it is having a chances of coming again blonde hair. Understand, Kevin? For example, you asked the correct question. Now let me take now mother. Now mother is having a genotype of capital H and small h, and father is having a genotype of small h and small h. Now what is the gametes will form here? Capital H, small h, and here small h and small h and small h. Please respond. So now during the intercourse, sexual reproduction, what will happen? Capital H, small h. Next one, capital H, small h. And the next one, what will happen? Small h and small h. This one, correct or not? And this one, what will happening here? Here, what will happening? Small h and small h. Understand that? So in this case, not 3:1. What is happening? 2:1. 2:2. It is equals to what? 1:1 is happening. Understand, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? So now we are considering what? If mother is having a genotype of capital H and small h, then also it is what? Mother is having a black hair only. Then the possibility is 1:1. Do you understand? So if both chromosomes will formed by small h and small h, baby will get the blonde hair. Do you understand, Kevin? If it is capital H is donated by the mother gene, then it will be the dominant gene. So the baby will get, in these two cases, baby will get what? Black hair only. Do you understand? So that is why you might be seeing, if anyone is having two babies, one may get dark hair or else black hair, one may get blonde hair. Have you noticed it? Yes. So by the time the mother gene may be having a capital H and small h. So I am not saying only mother is having black hair. Sometimes father is also having black hair. Understand, Kevin? It's not the fixed one. I'm taking it just for example. So now our example, what I'm taking, guys, What is our example I'm taking to explain the dominance of characteristics, how these genes will control the characteristics. Father is having a genotype of what? Both small h and small h, and mother is having a genotype of both capital H and capital H. So now the gametes which is formed by them, what is the gametes will form them? The gametes formed by them is small h and small h, and here the mother gametes will formed by capital H and capital H. So now they will involve in the sexual reproduction. Do you understand? So now during the sexual reproduction, what is happening? Father will donate one gene and mother will donate the another gene. So in this case, if you notice it, all we used to get the genotype of in baby. Let me take if it is F1 generation, then all will get what? H and capital H and small h, capital H and small h, capital H and small h, and capital H and small h. So now if you notice it here, this is the what? A baby hair color. So the genotype in the baby which we used to get is capital H and small h. So capital H is the dominant gene which will cause us to the black hair, and H is the recessive gene which does not show his character. So what is happening, guys? In the baby, the baby used to get what? The baby used to get the black hair only because of dominant gene. That is what I'm saying. Have you understand this concept? Anybody not understand? Please let me know. So Sanjay, Suthir, Pranav, Nitish, that is what you need to understand. So that is the concept which is behind how the genes will control the characteristics. So if not that genes which is dominant other gene, that is what we used to call as a dominant gene. And another one, a gene which will gets dominated are only we used to call as recessive gene. Which will dominate is called as dominant gene, and which will dominated by another one is called as recessive gene. So if we take everything like this is what, how the genes will control the characteristics or traits. Now, let us discuss the inheritance of blood groups also. You might be asked your mother and father blood group, and you test your blood groups also. Is there anybody in this in our team who knows your mother blood group, father blood group, and as well as your blood group? Please respond. Anybody tell me? Anybody knows? You please let me know. So because now we are going to study that is only. So we'll describe now how the inheritance of blood groups by the children from the parents. So as we know, in our animals only, let us take, because plants does not have blood. So now let me take the human beings. So human beings, always a baby is produced by two parents. Who is the parents, guys? Who is the parents?
Father.
Yeah, one is father. So we are having two parents always. One is father and another one is what, guys? Mother. So I'm taking shortcut. You can write father and mother. So now we are having father and mother. So they will be involved in the sexual reproduction. Then we used to get a baby. So that is what now. So let us take father is having a different blood group. We don't know that. And mother is having a different blood group. And what the baby will get. That is what we'll see. That is also what the inheritance of blood groups by the children from their parents. So let us see how it is coming. So now you remember the genes which will control the blood group is represented by the letter called as I. Is it okay, guys? Everybody? Can you understand what I'm saying? What is the letters we represented for the blood group, guys? Blood groups, what is the letter we used to represent? I. Understand, Ra? So tallness we used to represent what? Tallness we used to represent with a capital T. Dwarfness we used to represent with a
Small t.
Dwarfness we used to represent with a small t. And next one just now we studied hair color. Black hair we used to represent with what? Black hair we used to represent with a capital H. And same way, blonde hair we used to represent with what, guys? Blonde hair we used to represent with a small h. Now, if we'll take here, we used to represent same way the gene which will controls the blood group. Do you understanding? The gene which will controls the blood group. Now we are going to represent with what, guys? We are going to represent with the I, capital letter I. Now, this genes has three different forms. That is only we used to call as alleles. So, what is the different forms of genes, guys? This gene. So these genes have three different forms. That is what we used to call as alleles. Understand? So now what there means I power A, I power B and I power O. So please all of you note it that. That is what. So how many forms it is having, guys? I power B and as well as last one is I power O. So this is only it is. So based upon these three only, it will decide the blood group of a baby. So whatever the parent is having, whatever the mother parent, whatever the father parent is having, so during the sexual reproduction, by a dominant or recessive gene, so the baby is to get some kind of blood group. So let us discuss what it is. So now shall we move, guys? If you are ready, then I will proceed. If you are all understand till here, we will proceed. So now you have to make it. So the gene which is responsible for the blood group, characteristics of blood group is represented with the I, and these gene has three different forms. So the three different forms only we used to call it as what, guys? Three different forms, that is only we used to call it as alleles. Understanding? So these alleles are what? I power A, I power B, and I power O. O it is. Is it okay, Kevin, Arvind? So now, how these blood groups are inherited? That is what our question. Very important question, and definitely people are going to get in the exam also. How blood groups are inherited? That is what our question. Pranav, have you understand, Pranav, hair color, how it is coming? Please respond. Kevin, have you drawn this diagram also? You have to understand with the diagram also, because see, nobody, no textbook also will explain with the diagram. But why I am drawing you here every time for the better understanding, because we studied this one in the form of that P plants this in this way to find the ratios also. That is why I am saying you. Understand, Kevin? Everybody, girls, Bhumika,
Okay.
have you understand? Varshini, Ashika, that is. So that is why you have to explain how the dominance or recessive gene is taking place and how these genes will controls the characteristics. You have to explain with the example so that it is easy and you can score more better in the exam. That is what I have suggested and I have been told you always. So now let us see, as we know that if it comes to the blood group, how these blood groups are inherited, we'll study in detail. So now as we know, anybody can tell me what is the common blood groups found in human beings, guys? What is the common blood groups found in human beings? Anybody? Please respond. How blood groups are inherited? So a person has any one of the four blood groups. So basically the human blood is having four blood groups. This is the common blood groups. Some rare blood groups also present. And don't say me positive, negative. That is only basically we are having four blood groups. What is that? Anybody can tell me? Yes, Kevin, Arvind. See, most of you are having awareness, correct? Either a blood group of A and B. Next one is what? AB. And last
AB.
one is what? O. Understand? So again, in this you people will study A positive, B positive, or A negative, B negative, and AB positive, AB negative, and as well as O positive, O negative. So this positive, negative is not there. That is no need also now, because you will study in the 12th class. So now only you study, either you are going to get what? A blood group or B blood group or AB blood group or O blood group, how it is coming from the parent. That is what we'll study. So totally how many blood groups you have, guys? How many blood groups? It is four blood groups. One is A and another one is B, another one is AB and O. Now, who will controls this? Anybody can tell me? Which gene is it will control? This all the blood groups is controlled by three forms of single gene. What is the gene called as? What is the gene, Ra? The gene called as I, which will controlled by three different forms of alleles. So what is the three different forms of alleles? Everybody. Just now I told you. What is that? So that is only I power A, I power B, and I power O. So these are the three alleles of gene called as I, which will controls the blood group from the parents to the offspring. That is what? A, B, or AB and O. So now let us take the genes. IA and IB shows no dominance over each other. So they are called as codominant. Do you understand? If IA and as well as IB, no dominance will shows. Do you understand, everyone? No dominance, then no dominant, then over each other. Then that is what we used to call it as what, guys? they are codominant. Is it okay, guys? No dominant over each other. So then only it is possible to get AB blood group. So that is what we used to call as what, guys? They are called as codominant. Do you understand, everybody? Next, same way if we'll take the gene and the gene IA and IB, both are dominant over the gene of IO. So this IA and IB both are dominant gene. Dominant gene over the whom, guys? Over the gene IO. Understand? That is what you have to remember. So now let us take the blood group IO is the recessive gene in relation to the IA and IB. That is what you have to understand. So who is the recessive gene in blood group, guys? This gene is called as recessive gene. Understand, everybody? And IA and IB both are called as what? Both are what we used to call, guys? They are the dominant gene. Do you understanding, everyone? So dominant gene are both will never dominate each other. That is why they are called as codominant gene. Is it okay? Nitish, have you understand? That is what you have to remember. So IA and IB is called as codominant gene and IO is called as recessive gene. Now let us see, although there are three genes, genes are called as allies for blood, but any one person can have only two of them. That is what you have to remember. So mother, if you take any person only, there, even though we are having three forms of allies, so any person can have only how many genes, guys? Any person have only how many allies? Any person is having only two forms of allies. Do you understand, everybody? Two forms of gene or allies we used to call it as. So it may be having IAIB or IAIO or IBIO. So we cannot say. So maximum how many allies for any person is having? So only the one person have only two of them. So the blood group of a person depends on which the two forms of the genes he possesses. That is only possibilities. So now can anybody say what is the possibilities of two genes is present in any parent? Suppose if we take two parents, so one person. So what is the genotype of present blood group? Anybody tell me? A person may be having IA and IB. Another person is having person of IA and IO. Another person is having what? IB and IO. Another person is having what, guys? I want, that's all correct. These are the three possibilities. Any other possibility? Yes? Any other possibility? That's all correct. So that is. So any pair of any person if you take, so any person if you take, only two forms of allies will be present. So now these two forms only, they will possess the characteristic or blood group of a baby. So now let us take, for example, if the genotype is, let me take, if the genotype, for example, you people are going to receive the genotype of the gene combination. Understanding, guys?